In the early 20th century, China witnessed dramatic upheavals. The ancient feudal imperial system that had endured for more than 2,000 years crumbled, ushering in an era of warlords and conflict. In 1930, the Northeastern Army led by General Yangshi Lei entered Beijing, then known as Beiping, bringing to an end the Central Plains War. Zhang sought to appoint an esteemed political figure as mayor, with Chien as his preferred choice. Zhu, who had passed the imperial exams at the provincial level during the Qing Dynasty, held several key government positions after the 1911 revolution. Yet he had become disillusioned after being deeply enmeshed in intense power struggles. Zhu established the Society for Research in Chinese Architecture in 1930. Soon after, he contacted Liang Xicheng and Lin Huiyin, two young architects who had not long returned from the United States, and asked them to join. The organization stands as the oldest modern academic group focused on researching the history of traditional Chinese architectural styles, design, and construction. Upon its founding, the Society had a crucial mission to gather and compile blueprints and materials associated with traditional Chinese architecture. At the time, a mysterious family with the surname Lei was selling a collection of intricately drawn royal architectural blueprints and finely crafted architectural models. Chien realized that this was likely a rare collection of materials on Chinese architecture. The Lei family's ancestors had long been engaged in royal architectural design. Faced with a dwindling fortune, it had decided to sell its collection of archives to make ends meet. After learning of the sale, Zhu was deeply concerned that the Japanese might have an interest in acquiring the archives. If these documents were to end up overseas, like the valuable Dunhuang manuscripts, it would be to the detriment of the Chinese people. He felt an urgency to rescue the invaluable architectural materials before others could acquire them in large quantities.
19世纪末、20世纪初，中国处在转轨期间，对传统的往往尊重不够，大量的东西就被外国人看中了，购买。有一部分图已经被外国人买走，日本的、德国的、美国的都有。然后朱铨就急了，觉得这个资源一旦流失，那就是一个巨大损失，我们就再也不可能通过这个图像资源来了解古代建筑的设计。
Bai Hongye, head of the map team at the National Library of China, and her colleague are retrieving precious cultural relics from a storage room in preparation for an upcoming research project.
这个应该是我们当时国图的前身，国立北京图书馆入场样式第一批样式雷图纸，当时是花了有4500大洋。
In June 1930, after much persistence from Zhu Chien, the China Foundation for the Promotion of Education and Culture allocated 4,500 silver dollars to the National Library of Beijing in order to secure the majority of the Lei family's architectural archives.
就相当于是雷家个人售卖的第一批大量的图纸，然后就这样就入藏了国图了。30年底又有第二批大宗的入藏，这个是全世界统计的，是差不多2万件。那么国图藏了15000件，就是全世界的3/4都在国图。然后国图这个除了量大以外，基本上也算是比较完整，就是它涉及了皇家建筑的方方面面。
This valuable drawing, dating back to 1836, depicts the layout of the 9 continents in peace, a scenic spot in the old summer palace, or Yuan in Chinese. It also includes detailed annotations for data, such as the building's width, depth, and column height. Scholars suggest this full plan of the old summer palace was drawn in the late 18th century. Notably, this plan stands out due to the inclusion of a rare grid outlined in light-colored ink. Architectural experts believe this grid reflects a planning and design technique used in ancient Chinese architecture. The old summer palace was ravaged by Anglo-French Allied forces in 1860, depriving people today of the chance to enjoy its former grandeur. Nevertheless, these documents serve as valuable evidence for us to explore the old summer palace's garden art, design concepts, and more.
就好像达芬奇的手稿，我觉得任何一个搞科技史啊、建筑史、文化史的人，一旦发现了原来参与创意的那些参与创意的大脑所做出来的作品，一定会特别珍惜。当时不仅朱贵老认识到了重要性，而且朱贵老通过对重要性的解释，影响了当时中国顶尖的一些文人。
Historically, Chinese scholars grappled with some fundamental questions. Did traditional Chinese architecture across dynasties possess a cohesive concept and design? If so, what principles guided their creation? How much of the ingenious craftsmanship of Chinese builders is encapsulated in those timeless palaces, temples, and gardens? In the early 20th century, Western scholars conceptualized the tree of architecture, with Greek and Roman architecture as the main trunk, guiding global architectural history to the present. Despite Chinese architecture maturing long before that of ancient Greek, it didn't sustain its evolution and exerted minimal influence on global architectural development.
黑格尔讲，中国是一个几千年将死的，很早就成熟，但是后来不发展，这是西方的一个明显的偏见。这个呢，就对当时一整代人学习西方建筑史就感到极度不满，就是深深地刺伤了中国人的自尊自信，那就是奋起研究中国的建筑，希望中国的建筑的研究能够进入世界之林，能够改变这个状况。
The documents on palace structures Zhu secured from the Lei family became a cornerstone for the study of ancient Chinese architecture. They also stand today as essential reference materials for the restoration and reconstruction of historical buildings. The extensive collections require continuous efforts from the book restorers at the National Library of China, who persist in returning these architectural documents to their former glory. Research projects associated with these precious materials also remain ongoing. Yet what historical narratives do these architectural documents convey? And what tales surround the enigmatic Lei family? In the spring of 1933, a knock echoed through the halls of Zhu Qiqian's residence at number 3 Jiaotangzi Hutong in Beijing. Upon opening the door, he was met by brothers Lei Xianrui and Lei Xianhua, descendants of the Lei family. With caution, they offered Zhu the Lei family's genealogy and letters associated with royal architectural construction affairs. The brothers' surprise visit saw Zhu come into possession of exceptionally rare and valuable materials for research into the Lei family. The family's genealogy showed that it had been involved in designing and constructing royal buildings for 8 generations over a span of more than 200 years. Such a lineage of royal architects is exceedingly rare anywhere in the world. What stories might these 8 generations carry with them? Having meticulously examined the Lei family's genealogy and correspondence, Zhu began crafting an article titled Textual Research on the Yangshi Lei Family. Renowned for designing royal gardens and architectural projects, as well as crafting architectural models, the Lei family would from now on be recognized globally under the name Yangshi Lei.
在清代档案里头，从事建筑设计，这叫样式。长期以来的管理人员是雷家当档案，所以叫样式雷。那管理过程当中，他经营了大量的图像资源、文书资源，他来管理的话，所以这个叫样式雷的图档，和皇帝、皇太后和亲王大臣和工匠往来的东西也都汇在里头，所以内容非常丰富。
History's intricate tapestry is woven with suspense and marvel. Unfolding gradually, the saga of the Qing Dynasty's royal architecture, spanning more than 200 years, stands as the ultimate pinnacle in the annals of ancient Chinese architecture. The first member of this royal architect family, Lei father, left scant records. The only known details indicate his birth in 1619. While Lei father's ancestors held high status positions, the family's core livelihood was craftsmanship. During the turbulent late Ming dynasty, his parents settled in Nanjing. In time, Lei father became a renowned artisan, particularly excelling in woodwork, garnering him acclaim locally and beyond. The Lei family's genealogy also documents a significant choice he made. In 1683, at the age of 64, he chose to relocate from Nanjing to Beijing, seeking to contribute his craftsmanship to royal projects and showcase his skills on the biggest platform. After hearing news from Beijing that the newly established Qing Dynasty sought skilled craftsmen for substantial renovations and the construction of grand royal buildings, Lei father saw this as the opportune moment to make his move, even at his advanced age. This decision had a profound impact on the Lei family.
从明末开始，就整个江南的这个经济其实是起飞的一个状态，然后造成了那个时候的这个整个对于物质生活的这样一种精美化的一种追求，包括这个细木家具啊等等，确实是在当时招募了很多的这个南方的匠人到北京去从事这个工程建设。
In the spring of 1683, the 22nd year of Emperor Kangshi's reign, Lei father, accompanied by his cousin and 25-year-old son, Lei Jinyu, set out on their journey northward. Despite lingering apprehension, their abilities as skilled craftsmen instilled them with confidence as they entered the capital city. Lei Jinyu followed his father to Beijing in order to fulfill a greater vision for the Lei family. Beijing's Guozijian, the imperial college, stood as the preeminent educational institution during the Qing Dynasty. Although elite, students from humble backgrounds with outstanding academic prowess could be selected to study there. Lei father wanted his son to receive the finest education, excel in the imperial exams, and attain an official position. Lei father excelled in Nanmu woodwork, crafting exquisite wooden furniture and decorative designs. His skill in adeptly combining woodworking with drawing, painting, and refined aesthetics reflects a harmonious fusion of scholarly values and artisan skills. Residing in Nanjing for over 20 years, his craftsmanship was influenced by prevailing literati trends in China's eastern Jiangnan region. The Chinese term for woodwork made its debut in the book Yingzhao Fa Shi during the Northern Song dynasty around 1,000 years ago. Nanmu was acclaimed as the foremost among the 4 famous woods in the Jiangnan region. As a result, crafting with Nanmu symbolizes an artisan's elevated status in woodworking.
可能我们传统上会对这个士农工商的这样一种阶级划分会有一个根深蒂固的这样一种成见，但实际上是在当时的这个社会，工匠他不仅仅简单的说我只是一个做这种体力劳动的这个人，而其实他有一部分是有非常好的这个就是修养，就是受过比较良好的这个教育。然后包括当时的这个江南地区有很多文人，其实也参与了这个所谓的这种工匠类的技艺类的活动。
Today, Beijing's Haidian district is known globally for higher education and technological innovation. Lesser known is the fact that during the Qing Dynasty, the town of Haidian gained widespread recognition for its excellent natural conditions and advanced agricultural production. The term Haidian originally denoted expansive lakes and wetlands, later evolving into a place name. This geographical feature, crucial for agricultural production, became the most distinctive natural landscape in Haidian. During the reign of Emperor Kangxi, the town gradually transformed into a royal garden area. Due to its many garden construction projects, Haidian became a magnet for craftsmen from across the country. After Lei Fada and his son arrived in the capital, they settled in the town's Huaishu Street, close to the royal gardens. With his extensive knowledge of woodworking and craftsmanship, Lei Fada quickly secured employment in the project to repair and renovate the imperial palaces. Intelligent, capable, and stoically strong-willed, he excelled in coordinating and collaborating with others. His contributions to the royal construction projects in Beijing earned him official recognition and commendation. During this era, the Qing Empire thrived with optimism and vitality, marked by robust military strength and a swift resurgence in global influence. Beijing, the capital, buzzed with infrastructure projects. Little did people comprehend that this marked the final peak of China's 2,000-year history of feudal society. It was evident that Chinese architecture was approaching its zenith. Lei Fada's time in Beijing appears to have been smooth, with his entire family eventually joining him in the city. However, there's no written record of his later years. His eldest son, Lei Jinyu, lived up to his father's expectations by becoming the only member of the family to study at the Imperial College. After his graduation, he obtained a low-ranking official position. Yet, at this point, his life took an unexpected turn.
因为这个清初的整个官僚制度就已经进入了一个比较拥塞的状态，就是考取这个贤职之后，并不能立即的授予这个实官。那在这样一个情况下，他们全家在北京其实还是需要去这个自谋生路，就是我需要去维持这个家族的生计，去等待这个就是授予这个实职的这样一个机会，就 引发了他后面的一条不一样的一个人生道路吧。
With all the court positions filled, every fresh graduate faced an uncertain wait for a vacancy to open. After careful consideration, Lei Jinyu decided instead to make a living working alongside his father as a craftsman specializing in Nanmu woodwork. Studying at the Imperial College, the highest educational institution at the time, set the young Lei Jinyu apart from typical craftsmen. His education not only familiarized him with Confucian classics, but also cultivated a unique perspective and mindset. Soon an opportunity arose for him to distinguish himself. In 1684, at the age of 30, Emperor Kangxi embarked on his inaugural tour of southern China. The captivating landscapes of the Jiangnan region, especially its enchanting scenery and meticulously designed gardens that offer a new view at every step, left an enduring impression. The poetic and artistic atmosphere lingered in the emperor's mind, prompting him to reflect on the nearby western outskirts of the capital. The western outskirts of Beijing, 15 kilometers from the Forbidden City, mark the convergence of the western hills and the plains. During the Ming Dynasty, there was a private space called Changun Garden. Emperor Kangxi chose this site to construct the Qing's first imperial resort, Changun Garden. Near the west gate of Beijing's Peking University, two mountain gates quietly stand amid bustling traffic. They are the only remaining parts of Changun Garden. The ethos of the garden's design is encapsulated in the phrase, "Every season is as pleasant as spring," embracing winds from all directions, and harmony prevails in all environmental influences. What did Emperor Kangxi's beloved imperial garden look like? Researcher Zhu Qiang, who specializes in landscape architecture, and his colleagues are leveraging their professional knowledge to understand more about the original appearance of Changun Garden.
这是恩木寺的，这是恩佑寺的。因为它古代画图的时候呢，这个比例建筑比例还是比较准确的。
With no plan of Changun Garden from the Kangxi era, the earliest drawing Zhu has found is the full plan of the terrain of Changun Garden, created between 1821 and 1850. The drawing shows that over half of the garden's area was covered by water, using a landscaping technique that creates scenes around water. It highlights two sizable bodies of water, the front and rear lakes.
它是康熙皇帝 亲自来主持建设的这么一个清代的第一座皇家离宫。所谓的离宫呢，就是皇帝他在这个园子里边长期的办公和居住。如果说没有畅春园离宫的这个建设，海淀可能不会有这么蓬勃的发展，那么后来也不会有三山五园作为一个这么重要的一个地位的一个区域。它在世界的园林史上、规划史上、城市建设史上，应该说都是一个非常独特的案例。
Using Qing documents, drawings by the Lei family, old photos, survey maps and satellite imagery, Zhu and his team are conducting on-site surveys to reconstruct the scope and layout of Changun Garden. Simple architectural style and a strong emphasis on garden landscapes, it's believed to have exuded the
我们中国古代园林都偏自然的，那么西方呢，他们偏理性，他们认为自然是不完美的，要大量的人工的更多的干预和改造这个环境，形成了非常符合人的理性的这样规则对称的古典主义园林。而中国园林呢，相对偏自然，但这个自然里面呢，有我们自己的特色。
Great ideas and designs are essential, particularly for the design and interior decoration of individual buildings. There was an urgent demand for skilled craftsmen. Lei Jinyu felt excited upon learning of Emperor Kangxi's plan to construct Changun Garden. Without hesitation, he applied for a position in the project to showcase his expertise in Nanmu woodwork. In the rigorous assessment overseen by the Imperial Construction Department, he stood out for his mastery and was hired as a craftsman to work on the construction of Changun Garden. This saw him become the Lei family's second generation of craftsmen. As the second political center during Emperor Kangxi's reign, Changun Garden, though smaller in scale compared with the Forbidden City, embodied the concept of supreme authority. Opposite Dagongmen Gate stood the Hall of the Nine Scriptures and Three Matters, where ministers attended court. This splendid single-story building in Changun Garden was equivalent to the Forbidden City's Hall of Supreme Harmony. The construction of the Hall of the Nine Scriptures and Three Matters involves a legendary story. The project had reached a pivotal moment: placement of the central beam in the main hall. Due to the hall's extraordinary significance, Emperor Kangxi chose to attend the ceremony in person. However, an unexpected incident occurred during this grand event. Perhaps due to nerves in the presence of the emperor, the technical officer responsible for connecting the central beam failed to align the docking points several times. At this crucial moment, Lei Jinyu promptly ascended the scaffolding. Calm and composed, he swiftly resolved the problem, leaving a lasting impression on Emperor Kangxi. The emperor immediately summoned Lei Jinyu. No one knows what was discussed in this meeting, but undoubtedly the conversation left the emperor impressed with this well-mannered and agile-minded craftsman.
那其实从雷金玉本身的这个生平上就可以看出，他实际上也和普通的这个工匠是有一些区别的，因为他是在当时的这个最高学府国子监是读过书，然后并且取得了一个很好的一个毕业成绩。那我相信就是在他与这个康熙的整个对话中，一定体现了他的比较好的这样一个学养，然后所以才会让这个康熙皇帝青睐有加。
In recognition of his abilities, the emperor appointed Lei Jinyu as a supervisor in the Imperial Construction Office, an important position within the imperial household, making him a seventh-rank official with a corresponding salary. To the rear of Changun Garden was the main attraction, a lake 300 meters by 200 meters with a central structure that served as Emperor Kangxi's sleeping chamber, Qingxi Shuwu. In his book, Accounts of the Eight Voyages in Great Tartary, French missionary Jean-François Gerbillon described Qingxi Shuwu as simple yet elegant, devoid of opulence or grandeur. Everything is arranged in an exceptionally neat manner, following the Chinese style. The style of Changun Garden, distinguished by its natural simplicity, significantly shaped the aesthetic preferences of subsequent imperial gardens. On the eve of the annual tomb sweeping day in 1687, Emperor Kangxi took residence in Changun Garden, setting a precedent for the Qing Empire's governance from this imperial retreat. Records show that, over the 36 years from Emperor Kangxi's first stay at Changun Garden in the spring of 1687 until 1722, he spent considerable time here every year, overseeing state affairs, more than 3,800 days across 257 visits. On average, he visited here 7 times a year, a total of 107 days. The emperor derived great pleasure from this routine.
畅春园的意义是开启了叫在北京西郊原居理政的一个先河。清代它其实对北京最大的一个贡献，并不在内城的格局上面，其实更多的是在它建设了一个跟北京城等于有同样重要的一个西郊的这么一个园林的集群。康熙的时候呢，实际上他在畅春园里面是把它提到了一个跟紫禁城基本就是可以说在这种政务理政上面是同等重要的一个作用。
Changun Garden never lost its charm in the eyes of Emperor Kangxi, who enjoyed the longest reign in the Qing Dynasty and bore witness to the empire's vibrant early years. Contributing to the construction of Changun Garden provided an opportunity for Lei Jinyu to distinguish himself. Yet an even more magnificent imperial garden project awaited him. "20 years after the completion of Changun Garden, Emperor Kangxi's 4th son, Yongzheng, and his 6 brothers jointly requested permission to build their own adjacent residential gardens. After gaining swift approval from the emperor, Yongzheng selected a location to the north of Changun for his garden. On December 4, 1707, the emperor paid a visit to the residential garden built for Yongzheng and named it Yuanming, later known as the Old Summer Palace. The word Yuan represents exceptional personal virtues, while Ming symbolizes bright political achievements. The name reflects the standards of a wise and enlightened ruler. This is a full plan of the Old Summer Palace from the Yangshi Lei archives, created during Emperor Qianlong's reign. In the lifetime of Emperor Kangxi, its scale was much smaller, spanning just 0.47 square kilometers, about 1/3 of the area shown in this map. Emperor Kangxi passed away 35 years after setting a precedent in governing the state from the imperial garden. He died in his cherished Qingxi Shuwu at Changun Garden. As a result, Yongzheng ascended to the throne and adopted the era name Yongzheng. The shift in status brought about significant changes in Emperor Yongzheng's life. The initial design of the Old Summer Palace, created for the leisure and relaxation of a prince, proved inadequate for the demands of an emperor. Expanding it became imperative.
我觉得雍正皇帝这个人其实是一个非常有抱负和想法的，就像是提到的，他将我们说一些政治的寓意，包括他对宗教佛教的一些理解，都会通过一些我们说建筑的语言和园林的语言，以及山水格局的布置，进行一种规划层面的表达。
The old summer palace ruins feature a white marble building foundation standing in the water. It may appear unremarkable up close, but from a slightly elevated angle, its distinctive feature becomes apparent. The entire foundation is shaped like the Buddhist swastika symbol. According to a drawing discovered in the Yangshi Lei archives, this site once housed 33 connected palace halls, together called Wanfang Anhe Palace, or Palace of Universal Peace, one of the old summer palace's expansion projects in the early years of Emperor Yongzheng.
万方河里面的装修的话，它有33间，在道教里面是有特殊的含义的，这样跟雍正皇帝的这些独特的这种文化修养是相关的。那么在33间里面，我们看似是一个完全相同的4个伸出的手臂一样的里面，它又分出来9个景区，那又通过这个9个景区的组织，又串联起来不同的空间序列。那这个空间序列就要靠内檐装修，通过内檐装修的改变来实现的这种不以景异的这样一种设计的想法。所以我们说，看似万帆和简单，其实是一个对建筑设计师来说是一个极高的挑战。你如何能做到不重复，还要有多样的变化？
At the start of the old summer palace expansion, the emperor requested that Lei Jinyu be appointed as the head of the Yangshi office of the imperial household department. Now, in his 60s, he felt both honored and privately concerned, recognizing that his age presented challenges to his physical and mental capacities. Yet the emperor was not to be refused. With grand ambitions as the nation's ruler, Emperor Yongzheng aimed to establish a wholly distinctive architectural form, surpassing his predecessors' accomplishments. As Lei Jinyu came to comprehend the emperor's ambition, he felt immense pressure. There was no turning back. He had to give it his all. In line with the emperor's vision, the old summer palace was conceived to cover 2 square kilometers, 5 times the size of the original garden approved by Emperor Kangxi, and more than 3 times the size of Changun Garden. The overall layout adhered to traditional Chinese landscape patterns that maintained harmony with the natural terrain. By the end of Emperor Yongzheng's reign, some 37 scenic areas and at least 160 garden structures had been completed.
大胆推想一下，那么雍正皇帝在继位之初，能不能这么快速的把从皇子次元的一个小范围的这个圆明园，扩大到一个3000多亩的一个我们说具有理政、办公、游寝等等一系列功能需求的园林的话，就是御园的话，他身边一定会有一个非常具有全局观。乃至后面的设计，然后实施，还有所谓的质量把控，乃至后面的这个运行管理，有一个很好的助手，或者说是左膀右臂。
Lei Jinyu geared up for the challenge ahead, showcasing his efforts and creative talents and earning high praise from Emperor Yongzheng. His family had now ushered in the era of Yangshi Lei, taking control of royal architecture. Time passed swiftly, and Lei Jinyu reached his sunset years. On his 70th birthday, the emperor gave him a luxurious robe with python patterns. He also requested a prince, who would later become Emperor Qianlong, to write a piece of calligraphy with the word Gu Shi, a traditional Chinese term for the age of 70. It was a rare honor bestowed upon the craftsman. 1 year later, on a windy fall day in 1729, Lei Jinyu passed away in Beijing. Upon hearing this news, Emperor Yongzheng fell silent. He instructed the imperial household department to offer the Lei family 100 taels of gold, along with accommodation, labor, and transportation services at the imperial post stations. This would facilitate the transport of Lei Jinyu's remains back to his hometown for burial. That the scholar-turned-craftsman could bond so deeply with not one but two emperors was truly extraordinary.
在他70岁的时候，给他赐了蟒袍，然后又提了这个古稀匾额，然后在他71岁去世的时候，又能够允许他走国家的这个驿站，然后归葬他的这个江宁。就实际上这些所有的这些就是待遇吧，实际上都超出了就是我们对于一般工匠，甚至是对于一般的官员的一个认知。
The Yangshi Lei would continue to carry forward Lei Jinyu's royal architectural design legacy. In Zhu Qiqian's textual research on Yangshi Lei family, he declares, the architectural design career in the Yangshi office throughout the Qing Dynasty gained the highest reputation, starting with Lei Jinyu. The Qing Dynasty zealously pursued the grand construction of the old summer palace, during which the Yangshi Lei family crafted majestic structures to create expansive royal classical gardens. However, this unique opportunity also presented formidable challenges.